Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to L Does Boxing. Back with another live stream. You know what I'm saying? Let me get myself together. What's good? Aegis Santos, what's good, bro? Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it coming through. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. Gonna roll up. Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. I got you. You know what I'm saying? Salute to everybody, all the subscribers, supporters coming through. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the love and support, checking out the content. You know what I'm saying? Just talking about some boxing. You know what I'm saying? Just some simple old boxing. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too crazy. Gonna get down to it. So y'all see my thumbnail. I got some three kings on the thumbnail. You know what I'm saying? Ali, Foreman, and Frazier. So that's how I was feeling at the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. But I just want to talk about, just basic news and notes of the sport of boxing right now. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? What's up, Marcus Johnson? Salute. And then talk about tonight's fights. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get back to the basis of, why I like to watch boxing. So tonight you got Igor Kavalauskas versus Mikhail Zubski, welterweight fight. You know what I'm saying? This is a good fight right here. You know what I'm saying? Pretty even. I think Zubski has a little bit more in the tool bag though. He can box a little bit. He might be. I don't think he's the bigger puncher, but he can box a little bit. He got a little versatile. Roger Broadnax, what's good, bro? What's good with you? What's going on? Chen Smoke, what's good? Salute. Damn, bro, Sugar Ray, or you just a heavyweight? No, I just seen that picture, man. And I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and post that. I like that. You know what I'm saying? The three, you know what I'm saying? Basically the three kings in the heavyweight division in the 70s. So that's how I was feeling at the time. Yeah, yes, sir. Zubski. Yeah, Zubski can fight, man. Yeah, he's kind of on the radar because he fight in Canada, but a professional fighter with 34-1. I mean, that's funny when I hear people, they talk about these fighters just because they never seen him before. That don't mean he's trash or he's a bum. He only lost one fight, and not making excuses for him. You know what I'm saying? But he has some stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? You know, but it ain't no excuse. He lost to a good fighter. That fighter he lost to was he eventually became he was in line to be Spence mandatory, Konstantin Paramarov, but he turned the fight down, and that's how Ocampo got the mandatory position. So it's not like he's fighting nobody that's trash. That guy that beat him, you know what I'm saying, was one step closer to fighting Spence. You feel me? So I like the fight. I think it's a pretty good matchup. Eagles is the bigger puncher in my opinion, and Zuski is quicker. You know what I'm saying? He got faster hands, faster feet, and he can punch a little bit too. You know what I'm saying? 25 knockouts and 34 wins. That ain't bad, bro. I mean, that ain't bad. No matter how you look at it. Rod S was good, bro. Salute. You know what I'm saying? So I like the fight. I think it's close to 50-50 fight. You know what I'm saying? The undercard, you got Joet Gonzalez versus Miguel Mariaga. This a 50-50 fight for real too. Both of these guys' styles match up real well. Joet, he wants you to stay in front of him, same as Mariaga. Mariaga don't do well with boxers and big time punches. You know what I'm saying? JC, what's good, bro? Salute. My boy Teddy B in the building. What's good, man? What's going on with you? Yeah, so Mariaga and Joet, that's a good fight, man. That's a good fight. I think that's a better matchup for him than Joet versus Shakur. You know what I'm saying? Ain't Shakur chill. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think they still messing around. I don't know. You funny for that though. I got Mariaga by late stop. Yeah, I can see that though. Mariaga is a good, strong puncher, big puncher, and he like to go to the body. I seen Joey at the weigh-in yesterday. I mean, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? He didn't look like he was right down there. So I don't know. I think it's a better matchup for him though, because I think Mariaga ain't going nowhere. It's just, you know how I heard Joette saying, talking about the Shakur Stevenson fight, like, man, oh, he did what he had to do. He basically said everything, but hey, he was running in that fight. In this fight, he might have to use his legs. You know what I'm saying? So you can't knock the grind and the game plan when you might have to use that because you don't want to stand in front of Mariaga. Mariaga got cracks. At 126, he got cracks. When he moved up and fought Lomachenko, he looked like trash. You know what I'm saying? He gave Walters a tough fight. You know what I'm saying? Walters dropped him a couple times, I believe. But that was a tough fight. It was a dangerous fight. And I think Joet, if he want to have some success, he gonna have to box a little bit. He gonna have to box and then place his shots and counter real well. You know what I'm saying? If he stand in front of Mariaga, it might be short. Or he might stop him late, like Andrew said. I can see that. Mariaga power remain consistent all 12. He isn't getting landed on. Yeah. That dude got some cracks. And this a 50-50 matchup though. Joey can do some things too. You know what I'm saying? Mariaga is a sacrificial lamb versus Lomachenko. Lomachenko was styling on him, man. In the flame shorts? He had some flame looking shorts that fight. He was styling on him. Renee Bachon, what's good, bro? Salute. Thanks for coming by. Salute. Yeah, man. He was styling on Mariaga, man. That was crazy. He stayed in the corner waving him to come in. But if you look at Lomachenko's face after that fight, though, you know what I'm saying? He didn't come out that fight clean. He dominated, but he didn't come. His face was all bruised up. So that's just an indication that Mariaga got cracks, bro. And I don't remember him hitting Lomachenko that much. I might have to go back and watch it. You feel me? So that fight is gonna be on ESPN Plus tonight. You know what I'm saying? They started their card like 4 o'clock West Coast time, so 7 East Coast, and then it's gonna be on ESPN Plus the whole way. So you know what I'm saying? The card that's coming up pretty soon though, you got Anthony Yard returning to the ring versus Dex Spellman. And Yard, Yard kind of earned his bones and his stripes by going to Russia and fighting Kovalev and damn near coming out as the champion. In that 8th round, he had Kovalev, you know what I'm saying, moonwalking all over the ring. He had him hurt crazy. He could have stopped him, and he left everything in that round. And I think he could have probably got the stoppage if he was a little bit more patient and he would have picked his shots a little bit better. But his coach told him to go all out and you're going to listen to your coach. And that was a detriment. And he got stopped with a jab in the 11th round. But his stock went up though. You know what I'm saying? His stock went up. And I just felt like going into that fight with Kovalev, I thought Yard should have had a test like Shalimba or what's the name? Blake Clapper, that guy. The guys that fought Kovalev before, guys that fought for world titles before. He should have fought guys like that in preparation for Kovalev so he'd know how to deal with that down the stretch. You know what I'm saying? Because he was gassed out crazy. But I'm rooting for y'all, man. Especially, I mean, we've been, how this COVID-19 been, affected everybody. He lost both of his parents to that jump. Crazy. So definitely easy to root for. Yeah, y'all emptied that gas tank. Yeah, he did. Yeah, I hope y'all come back, man. Many have criticized him for his opponents after Kovalev. I mean, he had one fight after Kovalev. It was an off the radar fight in Spain against some small dude. He stopped him like in 1 or 2 rounds, and that was important because he's promoted by Frank Warren, and they rocking with the WBO heavy. And the WBO states you can't fight for a title coming off a loss, so that's kind of good though. They know how to play the system, so he got him a little win. So let's say a champion want to call him, or he could have gotten that tournament, but I think it was a little bit too late for him to get in that tournament. He was probably like number 6, 5 or 6. So they got Joe Smith and Alvarez and the 2 Russian fighters that about to fight on Brother BF undercard. So he was like maybe one position below that. But now he in a position where he can get back on top. He can get back, get his swag back, get some more experience because he still needs some more experience. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he really lose too much. I think he actually learned he gains more than he off a loss to Kovalev than he lose. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yard had Kovalev in his pocket. Yeah, he had it. He had it. Should have been more patient that night. Yeah, he should have picked the shots more when he had him hurt and went to the body. You know what I'm saying? But he's facing a guy named Dex Spellman. This like domestic level opponent. This is a fight that he should be able to shine and look good on. This guy Spellman, he like to come forward. He like to come forward, sit in the pockets, and he like to eat a lot of shots. He coming off a defeat July 31st against Landon, what's his name? Laden Arthur, one of the UK fighters, good little light heavyweight prospect that he's supposed to fight Yard. So that fight might be next. So this is a perfect fight for Yard, though, honestly. You know what I'm saying? To see how he looked coming off this crazy year he done had. And it's a perfect opponent for him. So I'm ready to see that. And that fight, that's going to be on ESPN Plus too. So that's early in the day. So it's going to start like 11 o'clock my time, West Coast. So make sure you guys check that out if you got the time. Or you can always go back and watch the replay. He's getting the confidence back, but really needs to get tested against a top guy. I agree with that. I agree. I think it depends where route he want to go. In a perfect world, for me, if I'm building him back up, I ain't mad at this fight. And then the Arthur fight. Arthur is like 18-0 with 13 knockouts. That's a good fight. Undefeated guy that can punch a little bit and got good movement. And that's the type of style that y'all gonna have to deal with if he face, the higher competition. Like if he's trying to face somebody like Bivol, Bivol can box and he can punch. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to cut the ring off and, use your angles against a mover. You feel me? So I'm not mad at it. But after that undefeated guy, Arthur, he should be fighting either I like the Bawaxi fight, but that's probably unreal. That's not realistic because of the promotional divide with Eddie and Frank. So maybe he can come over here and get, fight one of these light heavyweights. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Maybe they might invite him back to Russia to fight Brother BF. You know what I'm saying? You never know. It's not like Brother BF, he is a monster, but it ain't like he's not vulnerable. I seen Callum Smith had him all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I seen him drop by a lesser guy. And I think Yard punches harder than those guys or at the same level. So he's got options though, definitely. I would like to see Yard versus Zerto Ramirez though, honestly. Yard lost his parents. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. COVID-19. It was a crazy year. And he lost them like in weeks from each other. Yeah, it was crazy. So definitely easy to root for. So I'm looking forward to see him. You know what I'm saying? So this weekend, it's not really like crazy big names, but it is some decent fights though. That, you know what I'm saying, we can check out. Next week though, I'm looking forward to Lubin versus Goucher. That's on Showtime. Tugs, he's facing a replacement opponent, undefeated guy from Maryland, Kobe Abridi. You know what I'm saying? He's stepping in. Um, that could be a pretty good scrap. And then Boots versus Juan Carlos Ubregu. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to see Boots back in the ring because you know what I'm saying, he's just so dynamic, you know what I'm saying, as a prospect. Boots next week. He next week. Y'all just need a good condition coach. Yeah, maybe cut down some muscles. He always look good though in the way, you know what I'm saying, look strong and look like he in shape. But you know how that muscle is going into the late rounds. But yeah, Boots, he fight next week and he facing like that. This is the type of guy that I've been calling for him to face for his career progression. And people are like, man, who the hell is Juan Carlos Abrego? Where you find him at? I'm the type of dude that study this boxing shit. So, you know what I'm saying? You gotta pardon me. I might know a little bit about some shit that maybe not everybody know about. But this guy Abrego is 23-5. He got like 21 knockouts from the Dominican Republic. You know those guys come over here with heavy hands. Never been stopped. He faced Mean Machine, Jamal James, Vesputin, Soto Carras. I mean, I think he faced Cesar Cano. Like he faced all these guys, bro. Like that's resume is better than some of the champions. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? And he's battle tested. And this the most important thing. He never been stopped. And that's a good feather in Boots' cap if he can stop him and shine on him. I have no doubt he gonna beat him. I think he gonna beat him, but I think he gonna take his time. I don't know. You never know because a guy with that much talent like Boots, he might go in there and get him out in the first round and then be like, this dude with the distance with Mean Machine, this dude with the distance with James and Vesputin, and those three guys I named, they like on the fringe of top 10 welterweights. If Vesputin would have tested positive for a banned substance, he's WA regular champion. That's Ugas belt now. You feel me? Mean Machine just fought Crawford. He's right around like maybe from 13 to 15 range. You know what I'm saying? And Jamal James just had a big win over Thomas Alorme. And this guy went the distance with him. So it's a good name and common opponent to compare Boots to his performance to those guys. And that's why I've been calling for that fight. He need a fight like this. He need a guy that's durable that's gonna take him some rounds. Like, yeah, I don't mind seeing him run through a guy, but I do want to see him get tested. I want all the questions kind of answered as most as as clearly as possible before he fight that upper echelon. Like you put him in with Ugas and Porter and Danny Keith, all these guys like that, then we're gonna have too many questions. But with prospects like that, they never really get questioned like that until they fight top guys like Yard. You know what I'm saying? That's a good resume. Yeah, that's decent. I mean, he ain't come out on a good end of the stick, but that's decent. A lot of good guys. Better than Russell. Gary Russell. Yeah. But yeah, that card right there gonna be straight, man. Lubin versus Goucher. That's a good fight. I think that's kind of, like if you based off skill set, that might be like 50-50. But if you based off the momentum and who got the better upside, I would favor Lubin. You know what I'm saying? But there's something I don't think Goucher going down without a fight though. Goucher had a lot of success against Trout. I mean, I thought he beat Trout easy. I'm gonna just be 100. And he faced another southpaw this time, and I think he can still have some success. Now, when he fought Lara, he was just I don't know. Lara just outclassed him. He dropped him early, and Goucher never was in that fight against Lara. And it's hard to really look good against Lara unless you're ready to commit to go in and try to fight on the inside and make him punch with you. But if you give him space to let him pick shots and throw one punch at a time and what I'm saying, get combinations off, then get out the way without you doing anything, Lara gonna beat you all the time, 10 times out of 10. So this gonna be a good matchup though. Then you got Jose Pedraza versus Javier Molina. Javier Molina had a big win against Amir Iman. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a good fight for him and Pedraza. So yeah, looking forward to that. Definitely. So I want to touch on Gary Russell and Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? It's cool though that this fight basically got made and been taken seriously because it came through YouTube channels, boxing channels. I mean, a lot of those guys, say what you want. You know what I'm saying? I respect that shit because not any fighter that's gonna come to your platform and willing to make a fight or willing to discuss negotiations on your platform on multiple different platforms. Now I don't know the whole story and shit like that. D Hodges was good. I don't know the whole story. I just know bits and pieces of it, and I just know like the main stuff. But I think this fight should happen, man. It should happen, bro. Like for real. Y'all done made it this far. Y'all done hyped up the fans. Cause this a fight a lot of people wasn't asking for. I wanted it though. Because I was looking at the landscape in both of these guys' divisions. 26 and 35. I'm like, who Gary gonna fight at 26? You know what I'm saying? He's not really gonna get Warrington because Warrington is in UK and he talking about fighting Zucan. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be unifying. If they elevate Zucan, Leo moved up. Shakur vacant. He dropped his belt, moved up. I mean, who else? Do we really want to see him fight? His mandatories or top 15 guys. I would like the Kid Gallahan fight personally for Gary Russell, but you know what I'm saying, is Kid Gallahan gonna give up his mandatory position with the IBF to go the WBC route? I mean, you gotta think about how these guys moving. Storm B Man, salute. What's good with you? So I wanted that fight. I think I said on a couple lives and maybe in some guys chat that Gary Russell and Haney made sense to me since both guys can't find fights in their division. Of course, we want this fight. We all want this fight. Yeah, they should face each other, bro. Yep, these guys should face each other, especially when they've been doing all this promoting. So that's how I felt. And then same thing with Devin Haney. Well, so let me go back to Gary Russell though, with his landscape. So I talked about the guys at 26. So at 30, even if he went to 30, all the top guys are busy. You know what I'm saying? Peep game though. Herring trying to, you know what I'm saying, fight Frampton, coming off that performance he had last week. You know what I'm saying? Then you got JoJo and Tevin supposed to run it back. That's the IBF. So off the loop. And then they got a mandatory. You know what I'm saying? This kid from Russia that's coming. He coming. Southpaw, he coming. So he got dibs on that. Who else? So that's okay. WBC, Belchet and Valdez. They're about to fight November the 7th. Then they're supposed to do some type of WBC 4-man tournament. I don't know if that's gonna be real. You know what I'm saying? Shakur number 2 in the WBC and number 1 in WBO. So I don't know what's happening. And then WBA, shit. You tell me. I don't know. They got like 3 champions, and then Tank and Leo about to fight for the 130 title. Then you got Alvarado, and you got another guy. You got Chris Colbert. I mean, I don't know. So who would Gary fight realistically at 130? He'll fight the same type of competition that he fought before. I mean, all of his title defenses, only 2 guys. Well, 3. I give him 3 guys that I would give him props for, but really 2. Well, actually, hold on. He fought the guy Patrick Highland. Not a lot of people know him. He a decent fighter in Ireland, but they don't travel well. There's guys from Ireland, UK, and they don't travel well. So he stopped him like 2 rounds. That was his first title defense. Then he fight the short dude, Escandon. Now Escandon can fight. Escandon had a big win on the Charlo Harrison card. He beat a top prospect. I think it was a prospect. Yeah, a guy they were trying to put in line to fight for a title. I think he was trained. I mean, he's promoted by Manny Pacquiao. His name escaped me, but he stopped him like in 1 round, I think. So Escandon, that's a decent win for Gary, and that was a good little fight. And Gary stopped him. Who else did he fight? Kiko, Kiko is a veteran. You know what I'm saying? I ain't, whatever. It wasn't his mandatory. Then JoJo and Tugs. Both those guys got Olympic pedigrees. You feel me? So, I mean, decent, not really great, whatever. And then if you look at Gary Russell's resume before Lomachenko, like, I don't know a lot of people remember this, but when Gary Russell was coming up through the ranks, he was like 24-0, 22-0, whatever. And he was kind of like how Boots is. A lot of people was like excited about him, but we want to see him step up. We see the talent, we see the hand speed, we see all that stuff, but we want to see him step up because they had a running joke. He find another bomb, or no, this is what it was: Gary Russell Jr. versus TBA, because all his fights it'd be made like 3 weeks notice, 2 weeks notice. So maybe those guys didn't want to fight him, whatever. But he wasn't fighting a lot of top guys. You look on his resume, a lot of Mexicans, a lot of journeymen, a lot of guys that don't deserve to be in the ring with him. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like his resume is like this overblown type shit. You know what I'm saying? So he is the longest reigning American champion though. So that's facts. So and black champion. You know what I'm saying? So he a brother that had the belt longer. You know what I'm saying? He was like 2 months after Deontay. So now he took that crown. So that's respect for that. We know he hasn't been the most active guy. So if you look at 126 for Gary Russell and 130, who he gonna fight for real? So I said, look, fight Devin Haney. He in the same predicament. You know what I'm saying? No matter what you say, Lomachenko, those guys, they didn't want to go that route. However you want to cut it, call it a duck, call it maneuvering, call it whatever. He didn't want to go that route. So he gave up his WBC. And the WBC got a hand. They just made it so difficult and so confusing because they could have kept Devin Haney as the interim champion, let Lomachenko do his shit and go get that IBF and then come back to Devin. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say I can't really call it a true duck until after the fight, the winner of Tio and Lomachenko. If they're not calling Devin Haney's name and they go another direction and move up, move down, whatever the case may be, that's a duck right there. Because you can't tell me you got the number one, you got a guy that got a belt, one of the top guys, and you're another champion, and he a champion because of you. And he is a champion because, I mean, he actually, I am not taking credit away from Devin Haney, but if you wouldn't have vacated or went franchise or whatever you did, or requested or whatever happened, then he would never been champion. He had just been right there waiting in the wings like he is now, but without all the confusion. So we'll have a legit undisputed guy, you know what I'm saying, with a mandatory and a young, hungry champion that would have been the interim champion. It's okay. Keep him interim for a minute. He can defend it. And then the winner of the Tio Lomo fight Devin Haney. But they didn't mud up the waters. Now they're not obligated to fight him. You know what I'm saying? Now this guy can be franchised. So it's like crazy. So all these guys at the lightweight division, they busy, the top guys. Campbell, Garcia, you know what I'm saying? Just touched on Lomo and Tio. Who else? The IBF, they got they got a mandatory coming up. They got 2 title eliminators coming up. The final title eliminator, you have George Kambosos versus Lee Selby. That's supposed to be put on by Eddie Hearn probably November. And then for the number 2 spot, it's a PBC fight. I think his name Miguel Cruz, short little pit bull type of fighter, Mexican guy. And he's fighting Diego Madaleno, you know what I'm saying, for the number 2 spot. So if that title becomes vacant, the winner of Kambosos versus Selby and Cruz versus Magdaleno, they're gonna fight for the vacant title. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's just a lot of politics and maneuvering. Yeah, a lot of Mexican Uber drivers. Are you talking about Gary Russell's resume before he fought Lomachenko? Bruce goes salute. So yeah, so that's why I said. So after breaking all that shit down, right? 26 and 30 division for Gary, and then 35 for Haney. It makes sense for them to fight each other. It makes sense, especially you got the fans behind it. Um we got everybody pushing it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Like I ain't never seen I never seen it like this. It was highly entertaining. I ain't watch everybody's shows, you know what I'm saying? But what I did watch, you know what I'm saying, that I could retain, that shit was entertaining and kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? Bill Haney and Batman and everything go along with it. Then I seen Devin jumped on, and then Gary jumped. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just crazy, man. And it's good for boxing fans. It gives us hope that hey, you know, it gives us hope. Like damn, you know what? We can get what we want. So I feel like man, I hope these guys don't mess it up. You think the zone brokers struggling? Yeah, they struggling. Definitely. They definitely going through it. And the proof is because they not announcing no fights. Now they said that Jaime Munguia is going to fight um Tarion Johnson in October, but they didn't say no date. They say either this date or that date. Normally they'll roll out at least for the rest of the year. Well, it's September. You feel me? So it would make sense just to give me two more fight cards. They said Dan Jacobs supposed to come back in November. Demetrius Andrade supposed to fight on either Danny's on the card or the November 7th card with Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? They ain't giving no specifics. You know what I'm saying? So that I think they're struggling. I think they were struggling before this because when you giving all these guys big time money, excuse me, to fight lower opposition or fights that we really don't want to see. You know what I'm saying? And not put like you got fights. They have fights on their platform that should have been made, but they'll accept something else, and then put in our face like, oh, well, Canelo, he don't have to go for undisputed and fight Andrade, a guy sitting right there in his division, but we just let him fight Kovalev, and people equate that as the same. Now I know Kovalev is accomplished. He might make that Hall of Fame. But that's not the same Kovalev coming off of 7 weeks and damn near got, you know what I'm saying, coming off a tough fight in 7 weeks. Yeah, Kovalev did, you know, he didn't even fight really the same. He threw that jab like crazy. He ain't throw no power shots. Not a lot. So which like at the time of their career, forget the name, look at the fighter at the stage of their career. Which fight is better? Andrade at 60 for undisputed? That you can get, you know what I'm saying? You can get the tradition back in the sport of boxing. Middleweight is the glamour division in the history of boxing. You can get that back or move up to light heavyweight, fight a guy that's shot coming off a beatdown to a young guy that can punch. They really don't got a lot of experience. Kovalev took a lot of abuse in that fight. But that's like some stuff like it's underlining. See, it's not on the surface. You look on the surface, Canelo stopped Kovalev in the 11th round. That's the headline. You know what I'm saying? But they don't say, well, Kovalev coming off a tough fight, and he came back on short notice, basically, and boom, you know what I'm saying? That we already know Kovalev's on the downside of his career, but he's not gonna fight an Andrade who is, you know, athletically in his prime, good boxer. And he's dangerous, you know, for your record because he can beat you. You know what I'm saying? So they be trying to fool you with that shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. But I think in hindsight, it kind of hurt them. Because I think if they would have spread the money out a little bit more, you would have got better fights. You'll be able to get these guys from the PBC and excuse me, like Charlo, you'll be able to get them to come over if you can spread out the money. If this guy making 35 million and everybody else purses is like under 100K. That's a problem, bro. Why he can't this? You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much Triple G making, but it's like I know Canelo and Triple G is making crazy money, but everybody else, their pay scale is not even, not even on the close to the same level. What's your thoughts on Lomotillo Undisputed? Should Haney drop the belt as they are trying to devalue it? I mean, that's a good idea, honestly. You know what I'm saying? I can look at it from both ways. Excuse me. It's not Haney's fault that he's a WBC champion. It's Lomachenko's fault. So I don't look at Lomachenko Tio as undisputed. That's first and foremost. So I mean, I think Haney, like him getting the belt, it does diminish. It does diminish in a way, but in a way it don't. Because this is saying, look, this guy, the number one pound for pound guy, however you want to slice it. What's up, odd fella? What's good, bro? What's good? Yes, sir, Stubborn B man. Yes, sir. But no matter how you want to slice it, though, the pound for pound number one guy, he gave up his belt, franchise, whatever. He requested it. His team requested it. He ain't the real champion no more, right? So if Devin Haney gets the belt, you can't knock him for that. I mean, he rocking that belt like, you know what I'm saying? This is my belt. I mean, he got one title defense under his belt. It's not his fault. Now, yeah, they devalue him, and maybe he should. But if you're a fighter, you growing up, you dream to be a world champion. You know what I'm saying? The way these kids, man, they don't care how they get it. They just fulfill the dream. They fulfill the dream. Now, to get back to the the essence of the sport, yeah, I want to fight this guy. I want to fight him for. I want to fight him for. So yeah, maybe he can drop his belt and say that. But let's say he do drop his belt. What the WBC gonna do? They probably do him like he did, like they did Riddick Bowe. They didn't have Riddick Bowe ranked in no sanctioned bodies. When after he did that stuff, they didn't have him ranked, and he was clearly the best, one of the best heavyweights at that time. 93, 94, 95. Clearly, he was unranked. So it's politics in it, though. You know what I'm saying? My thing is this: the winner of Tio or Lomo, they should fight Haney, and that'll clear all this stuff up. That cleared up because that was the path that I would have accepted anyway. Get your belts. Same thing with Spence. Get the belts. Get the belts, and then let Bud be last. I'm cool with that. I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? It's just the stuff just get muddy when you try to tell me, oh no, this not undisputed. No, this undisputed. No, he's the champion, but no, this franchise, now he can be franchised. I'm like, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Like, I can keep up, man, but shit, y'all playing ping pong. So let me, so what makes the most sense? The winner of Lomo and Tio fight Haney, and then it's done. And then we cool. We can go on to the next. You feel me? So hope I answer your question. But yeah, man, I think it is devalue. I think, you know what I'm saying, they did them dirty in a way. They should have just kept him interim instead of playing with him. They played with his emotions. And then he get ridiculed by the fans. Call him an email champion and whatever. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of guys, they got elevated. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys got elevated. And even though the similar situation with Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis went on and cemented his legacy and fought everybody in that era. You know what I'm saying? He fought everybody in that era. So, yeah, we remember that, but that don't take away from him from being champion. I mean, at the time, they were saying Razor Ruddock was the best heavyweight, coming off 2 losses to Mike Tyson. Even over Holyfield, the undisputed champion, because the critics still was still saying that Holyfield was too small. They were saying he was too small. They wasn't even trying to get him credit for Buster Douglas, because Buster Douglas came in at 246. Oh, he was out of shape, whatever. They still think he was too small. And then the Foreman performance, They still think he's too small, even though that was a good fight. It was fun, but he won 9 rounds clearly, maybe 10, and that kind of rejuvenated Big George. So, and people who were still saying Razor Ruddock was the #1 heavyweight, the uncrowned champion, based off of knockout loss, sketchy knockout loss, early stoppage. But saying he was losing that fight. He had some good moments, and then a 12-round decision like a couple months later after that, because he gave Tyson a good fight and a foul. Saying they had lopsided scores and stuff, a lot of fouls and stuff in that fight. So when Lewis beat him, does Lewis become the uncrowned champion? You know what I'm saying? Or does it just work for one person? Because he had Floyd Pass in his corner. They work for Razor Ruddock, don't work for Lennox Lewis because he's an Englishman coming over here, and we didn't really like him. I didn't start liking Lennox Lewis until I felt sorry for him against Holyfield when he got a draw. That's 99. And he did good stuff before that. Ran through Galata, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Shannon Briggs. I thought the fight with Ray Mercer was close. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, but he went on and cemented his legacy though. So, like I said, like boxing, it just goes around. The same stuff that's happening now happened before. It happened before. It just we don't have social media to broadcast it like that. We don't have social media to put it on the forefront like that. But it happened before. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they just messed it up for the fans, and they messed it up for Devin Haney, taking away his legacy. Now the winner of that fight, they don't even have to fight him. That's crazy. And you know what I'm saying? That shit sucks. But it is what it is, man. That's how it is in boxing. But with Devin and Gary, though, I want that fight to happen because I feel like, it's been a lot of energy pushed into that. And I think actually breaking it down, I was looking at, once I heard the fight might happen, I want to go look at some tapes on this and watch some footage. And what I came up with is basically, what Gary gonna do to cut the distance? What he gonna do? A lot of his fighters, the guys that he fight, they coming to him, so it's easy for him to perform his and showcase his talents. Good counterpunching, fast hands. You know what I'm saying? Good right hook. You know what I'm saying? Gary, his jab, he don't. To me, he don't have like a good jab. He have a busy jab. He throw a lot of jabs, a lot of jabs. His percentages of his jabs be under 10%, be under 5%. He'll probably throw about 30, 40 jabs around and probably land like 2 of them. But those jabs are not meant to be landed. It's range finders, and it's to keep you at bay. That way, if you come too close, the hand speed. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of guys start slow against Gary Russell, because the hand speed and the jab kind of keep you at bay. So when he say he a master at distance, that's what he talking about. He throw a lot of jabs, and he hook off the jab, and then if you get close enough, he'll throw about 5 punches and try to hurt you or whatnot. So that's the thing. But down the stretch, what I see in Gary fights, he kind of slow down the hand speed. You know what I'm saying? Instead of throwing like 40 jabs around, he might throw like 25, and then he'll stay in the pocket too long. And the guy that's fighting him don't take advantage of it. But I see him slow down against Tug a little bit. I see him slow down against JoJo. And I just don't see how he gonna cut the distance and navigate the distance against Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? A bigger fighter, faster foot fight, like in feet wise, faster, good footwork. And Devin Haney don't give you nothing. He don't give you nothing. I seen that guy get hit flush man 1 or 2 times in 25 fights, 24 fights. And that was in his last fight when he had a separated shoulder, a tear in his shoulder. You feel me? So it's like I'm trying to figure out how he gonna do that, because Devin ain't gonna come behind the high guard and bang with you like how Gary was fighting Kiko, and how Gary was fighting Escandon and guys like that. He's not. He gonna be on the. I ain't gonna say he gonna be on the back foot, but he gonna be in range. That Gary's not gonna be able to touch him. I can see this fight kind of boring too. Honestly, I can, because you're gonna have the shorter guy trying to get in, and he might not be able to navigate that distance. And then you're gonna have the more rangier guy boxing on the outside and just trying to counter the counter puncher. And I think Haney, I think the speed is gonna make Haney even more disciplined. So he probably throw like one punch at a time, stab to the body, jab, maybe straight right hand, get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? And then what is Gary gonna do? Is he gonna sacrifice? He gonna have to fight a different game plan. He gonna have to use his feet. Gary is stationary. If he got that in his game, then I seen Lomachenko back him up or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? If Haney can do that and back him up, keep his back against the ropes and just keep him on the back foot, that can kind of eliminate some of the hand speed a little bit and the counter punching. So I think Devin actually gonna win this fight going away. It might be like a boring fight, but he gonna outpoint him. It's gonna be kind of a chess match early, but I don't know if Gary got the footwork to catch up with Devin. Maybe he do. I haven't seen it. And also there's weight classes for a reason. There's weight classes for a reason. If Gary Russell wanted to be a lightweight, he would have been a lightweight a long time ago, because guys been not want to fight him a long time ago. So that's how I look at the fight. I think Haney might dominate. Not dominate, so like you know how like you watch fights, like it's domination when you put on a lot of punishment on a guy and you beat him all 12 rounds and whatever. I don't think it's gonna be like that. I think it's gonna be like dominating as in the rounds. Like it's not gonna to me. I just don't see a lot of stuff happening. You know what I'm saying? Because I think the speed is gonna offset some of the shit Haney want to do until late in the fight. So I see a chess match. I see Haney fighting at long range, and I see Gary missing a lot. Yeah, that's why I see. I think Haney gonna win probably like 8, 9 rounds. I could be wrong though, and Devin not gonna fight. Like, how can I don't see how Gary can beat him. I don't think Gary can outbox him. I think the only way he can beat him is to make Haney sit there and trade with him and try to catch him with that right hook in combination. I don't see no other way. Maybe somebody can help me out. If I'm off on this, let me know. But I don't see. I think it's a bad style for Gary Russell. I think a better style for him is like Mikey. I think Lomachenko is better because Lomachenko don't he come at you. You know what I'm saying? Teofimo, like Teofimo a bad style too because he can punch and he quick. So I don't know. So that's how I see it. But I just hope the fight get made though. November 7th, December 26th, whatever. Whatever they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, we definitely the schedule is picking up. I'm gonna run down a couple fights real quick before I get up out of here, just to remind everybody. Oh, excuse me. So I talked about Lubin next week and Pedraza. They fighting September 19th. September 25th, you got a heavyweight fight. Tony Yoka versus Duopa. That's on ESPN Plus. That's from France. That's Friday, September the 5th. September 25th. You know what I'm saying? I want to see how Yoka look. You know what I'm saying? The 26th, that's a big boxing day right there for the fans. Doricos versus Breeders. You know what I'm saying? That's number 1 versus 2 at cruiserweight for the IBF title. And I'm not sure if the Ring magazine gonna be on the line. I don't know, but that's 1 versus 2, so you gotta watch that. And then we know about the Charlo card, which I think is worth it though. I'm gonna drop the 75. I think it's worth it. You got some good fights on this card. I ain't even talking about them 2 main events. Other than Figueroa versus Vasquez, all the other fights, the underdog has a shot to win this fight. I favor Danny Roman over Payano. I think Neri. I think he wins, but I think it's a tough fight. Alameda can fight and he can punch, and then we don't know how Neri gonna look at the higher weight class, especially after he's struggling to make weight every fight. And Casemiro versus Michael Duke Michael. Yo, that might be the best fight on the card. WBO title on the line. Earlier that day, you got Josh Taylor versus Consong for the IBF WBA title, 140. Charlie Edwards on that card. He a good little prospect. Well, he ain't a prospect. He a former world champion. But he moving up 2 weight classes. So you got Baranchik versus Zepeda, October the 3rd. That's a good fight. That's a good fight at 140. Navarrete versus Villa. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight. This is a classic fight because you got an aggressive, awkward fighter versus a slick boxer. He gonna stay in the pocket. Villa don't got a lot of power, and the thing is, with Villa, have enough power to keep Navarrete honest. You know what I'm saying? Good matchup, man. Good matchup. Go through my schedule. Let me see. October 10th, you got Lipinex versus Akahurov. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The IBF interim champion. I mean, it's for the IBF interim title. But what's his name? Akadurov. He's the mandatory for Spence, so he already in position. But they fight for the interim title versus Lipinex. So that tells me if they fight for an interim title, that fight gonna be next. You know what I'm saying? Get the winner. Unless Spence fights a champion. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I love being, understand this politics and how these sanction bodies work and whatnot. You got the precedence of this because the last IBF interim champion, it was what's his name? Uzcategui. He won it against Darrell part 2 when he stopped him on the Wilder Ortiz undercard. Then they mandated him to fight DeGale. DeGale gave that title up. So you think the IBF gonna do any different with the Spence Danny winner? Come on now. Come on now. I think the winner of that fight they're gonna get ordered to fight Spence. The only way Spence get out that shit because he's the money man, and he's probably the biggest star other than Pacquiao in the division. The only way he get out of that interim, that mandatory for IBF, if he fight another champion, because he got the power to say, "Look, I'll fight him, but let me fight either Bud or Pacquiao," and I think that's what the fans want anyway. You know what I'm saying? He only had one IBF title defense, and that was like 2 years ago. 2 years ago, bro. Time be flying. So it's definitely due. So I don't think nobody really can trip off that fight. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look, that's why I said, I know we like the big names and shit. We want them to fight the big names, but is it really realistic? Is it realistic? You know what I'm saying? Is it? It sounds good. Is it really realistic? Gary Russell needs to delete his social media. Why? What happened? What he do? And sign the contract for December 15th. December 15th. What day that on? December 15th? That's on a Monday? Tuesday. They fighting on Mondays and Tuesdays? I know the 5th is on a Saturday. 12th. That's Tuesday, ain't it? Oh, you probably meant the 26th. If you're talking about the 26th, I'm with you. Yeah. So, but yeah, back to the Spence thing. I want to touch on that too before I go. I'll make sure I cover all the fights. So I got videos coming up for that. So stay tuned for that. But before I go, I want to touch on that. I seen this morning that Spence was talking about that him and Bud both want to fight, and that fight gonna happen 2021. And it wasn't nothing really that I didn't know. It wasn't no new news. I know all that already. You know what I'm saying? I think it's cool that those guys has a competitive relationship. And I think that's gonna make the fight and the promotion good. Because I think they're gonna go back and forth and they're gonna challenge each other and bring the best out of each other. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a good thing because we can both promote this fight as equals instead of one guy up here, the other guy down here because you don't like him, whatnot. It should be even playing field. Don't make sense. The 15th, while the Fury the 19th. Yeah, that's fight week. Yeah, maybe he meant the 5th because PBC got a date on the 5th, fella, and they got the 26th. So maybe he got a little confused a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good with that. I think I know what he's talking about. But yeah, man, it was good though. When reading it, I was like, you know what I'm saying, boxing scene, shout out to them putting it out. But I was like, yeah, I kind of figured that. And I think they both came to understanding. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. Like it's good though. I don't think they should wait no more than 2 fights. Like really after this fight right here, it should be this fight should be made. Especially if Pacquiao not coming to the table to fight Spence, it should be made. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If Bud fight Brook, you know what I'm saying, and then my man is successful, but then that's when the IBF gonna come. That's what I'm saying. The IBF mandatory kind of forces these guys to fight for real. If they uphold their shit like they've been doing, it's gonna force Spence to not rush into that fight, but try to make that fight sooner than what he probably wanted to or what he's prepared to. Because I'm pretty sure he want to get the Pacquiao fight before he go to the Bud fight because that make the fight even bigger. So you know what I'm saying? I think both guys want to fight, but it's all about positioning and politics and whatnot. So if the IBF order, let's say Lipinets win, order Lipinets to fight Spence, you know what I'm saying? You know, they known to do that. And let's say Spence say, you know what? I want to make a big fight in boxing. I want Bud or Pacquiao. Let's say you don't get Pacquiao, Bud, and that would facilitate the fight to go quick, to come quicker, bro. So I kind of want, listen, and then peep game like this. This another thing. The WBC, not the WBC, the IBF, they got Porter number 2. The zone was capping for coming in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Hold on 1 second, man. Yeah, all right. So this one I'm saying, man, peep the logic on this. So Spence about to fight Danny, whatnot. That's a WBC mandatory. So I know Porter won an eliminator, so that makes him the mandatory. He got another year to rock with the WBC. But he fought eliminator in the IBF, what made him number 2. So you got Lipinets and this guy. This y'all know what I'm talking about. The IBF, he got a long name. IBF mandatory. They about to fight October 10th. Now the winner of that, in my opinion, I think they might fight Porter for the interim again. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to give Spence, your cash cow, your biggest star, the opportunity to fight these big fights, whether it's Pacquiao or Bud. I think those are 2 fights that he should be looking at. Now I know he got the mandatory, but I think he got enough clout that he can be like, look, listen, I'm gonna come back to that, but I need to, you know what I'm saying? That put me in a position to fight the unification and let Porter go handle that. Now Porter is number 1 in the WBO, so he in a good position where Paco can order Porter anytime now because Bud's mandatory is coming up in December. So Porter, he kind of like a pawn a little bit. He can go this way to holler at Spence. He can go this way. But if he go this way to holler at Spence, he gonna have to wait. If he can go to Bud and get a straight shot. So it's like they look. The PBC gave Porter 2 title eliminators against a guy from Germany that only really hardcore boxing fans know of. They gave him those 2 title eliminators for a reason. For a reason. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I want Bud versus Porter. And just because Porter number 1, he's not the mandatory. Remember, Danny was number 1 for like a year. For like a year. And he was number 1 in the WO for a while. and there wasn't no real talks about him being the mandatory. So they did it for a reason, and that's how I'm trying to break it down. Like why they made him the IBF? Last time when he was the IBF champion, what's up, DB03? Peace. What's good? Last time he was the IBF champion, he lost to Brook. They took him out the rankings. So what's the difference then? Porter might as well unify these secondary belts with Ugas. Yeah, he might as well. He might as well. I think he probably get more than likely. If the WBO don't call for it, I think he gonna fight the Lipinets. He gonna fight Lipinets if he win. That's my opinion. He's number 2 for a reason. And if you look at the IBF rankings, they rarely have the number 2 spot. They rarely have that field. It's normally vacant. I'm trying to figure out why they do that. I don't know why they do that. I think in one station by they got the number 15 spot vacant. I don't know why they do that. So if they don't normally do that, and they doing it for Porter after dissing him when he was an IBF champion, after he lost his belt in a close decision, they dropped him off the rankings. Like how'd that happen? You feel me? How'd that happen? So that's what I'm saying. I think I think the IBF mandatory is gonna force Spence to fight either Pacquiao next or Bud next. And if Pacquiao don't want to fight, which a lot of people don't think he do, why not make the Bud fight? Why not? Why not make it? We don't have to bash this guy. Just build them up the same. We don't have to be the same, but build it up and say, look, this is the biggest fight in boxing. The fans been wanting this. If this is the first fight that we can have with 100% fans, man, come on, yo. Why we can't take that? Why we can't have that? You know what I'm saying? I know Wilder and Fury gonna do like what 60%, 40%, whatever they're gonna do in December. Why we can't come to full capacity coming back off this stuff we've been going through, the quarantine, all this, with Spence versus Bud. You know what I'm saying? Why we can't have that full capacity where everybody can come? You know what I'm saying? Taking precautionary measures, of course, but everybody can come, right? So let's do it like that. You know, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of ways this stuff can shake. You know what I'm saying? Do Spence really want to fight Porter right now? Or should he have to fight Porter right now? Like he in the position where he got the 2 belts. Why he can't go get the 3rd belt? Or a 3rd belt? Or however it works. You know what I'm saying? You want him to fight this mandatory, which is overdue. But shit, are we gonna kill him for that? Are we gonna kill him for fighting Akadurov? Like we killed Bud for fighting Mean Machine? You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure a lot of, we don't really want to see those fights. We don't want to see it, but we know mandatory is mandatory. But it's not going to be the same type of dynamic if Spence fight the IBF mandatory and nobody want to see that. So it'd be better off letting Porter handle that light work. If Porter not going to go to Bud or that fight can't happen, that fight, I don't think it's so much have to do with Bud them sending the offer or Porter them sending the offer. I think it has to do if Paco gonna order that shit. If Paco order that and make them guys sit down at the table, it's all for that's why sanctioned bodies are needed in some cases. Because some cases, if we can't get this guy to fight, all right, man, Paco order that joint. You know what I'm saying? Order that shit. Mauricio order that shit. Gilberto order that shit. You know what I'm saying? My man, the IBF, order that shit. You know what I'm saying? Daryl Peoples, order that joint. That way we can get these fights to happen. Facilitated that. But see, this way it get cloudy. They'll do it for some and don't do it for all. Like if they got a guy like Canelo, they're not gonna do it for Canelo. They're not gonna do it for guys they like. You know what I'm saying? They'll do it for people. I guess they want to get the belt off of them. So yeah, man. I think it looked good though to get Spence and Bud. And I think my mindset of that fight ain't ready to happen. It ain't ready to happen yet. Maybe 1 or 2 more fights. I always said if the first one to get Pacquiao under their belt, then the fight is ready. I always said that. The first one who get Pacquiao, now the fight ready. But now Pacquiao, he seemed like he out the loop. right? He out of the loop. So let's see. Let's see what happens. So yeah, I think we're getting closer. Honestly, I always thought we was getting closer. I think it make it seem like we're not getting closer because Bud get a lot of hate. Bud get a lot of hate. So if he was like if he was just speaking on basic terms and without nothing else involved with it, then you'll understand. But like, man, this fight it's right there. All it takes is one. If really, it takes two things to happen: the IBF to order him to fight that guy, whoever the winner, order them to fight him. So he either going, if they say he going to either have to vacate or whatever, but he can lobby to make a bigger fight, whether it's Pacquiao or what's the name. So that's one. And the second, if Pacquiao want to do something else, and the IBF is giving Spencer, I'm gonna give you another voluntary fight, and your voluntary fight is really your mandatory and Bud. Because I always say, if you got multiple title holders, the title holders in your division is your mandatory first and foremost. That's just how I think, and I think the boxers should think like that too. But if they're gonna give him a optional defense against to make a unification, is in their rules, they can do it. And especially if Lipinets win. It's not the first time Lipinets took some step aside money to allow a big fight to happen. Yeah, he was Bud's mandatory in the IBF at 140. No, he was not Bud. Excuse me. In Dongo's, he was in Dongo's mandatory. They threw him some little bread, threw him some bread. You know what I'm saying? Nobody know who Lipinets is. He's a kickboxer, right? You know what I'm saying? So we don't know him. So throw him some bread. And it would make even more sense if he PBC. So throw him some bread. Hey, so Spence, you can make the Bud fight now. We can make the fight. If Pacquiao, because I do believe if he should get Pacquiao fight. He got 2 belts. Might as well get the third one and then finish all with Bud because I think that'd be bigger and make the fight bigger with Pacquiao under his belt. You see what I'm saying? See how I'm maneuvering this shit? That's why, you know what I'm saying? I be on some other shit, man. Y'all gotta excuse me sometimes. It don't be no disrespect to nobody, but I be looking at shit differently. Cause I'm like, hold on. This fight can happen, bro. This fight can happen. It's closer than what I think. It's not too far fetched. So it depends on Pacquiao and depends on the IBF, and all these pieces can come together. Cause you think the WBO going to stand in the way of of Bud's mandatory? If Bud want to fight this guy, come on now. If we can make this fight with Spence, you think the WBO gonna stand in the way? Nah, I don't think so. Bud did say he's in the works with Manny. Yeah, I doubt that fight happened though, unless they get some crowds. Yeah, I know they was talking. I mean, either like I said, either one who get Pacquiao, they got a second belt and they got the biggest name on their resume, and that's gonna make the fight even bigger. You know what I'm saying? It's big now, but I think it'll be bigger with Pacquiao, either of those guys' resumes. So yeah. I like before I close though, I like the comparative spirit between those guys. They say they're not friends, they just talk trash to each other back and forth. You know what I'm saying? I like that. That gonna make the fight even more exciting. So yeah, man, I appreciate you guys coming through, rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? Chopping up about this boxing, building on this boxing talk. You know what I'm saying? You can I appreciate you guys. If you subscribe to me, I appreciate the support. If you haven't, go ahead and do that. Hit the like button, you know what I'm saying? Drop comments. If you listen to the playback, you know what I'm saying? If I'm off on something, let me know. You know what I'm saying? I ain't above correction or constructive criticism, anything like that. You know what I'm saying? You want to add anything to it, it's all good. It's all love. You know what I'm saying? And you can hit me up on Twitter, dropping boxing content over there, dropping gems, trying to, you know what I'm saying, expand a little bit. So it's all good. It's all love. So that's my time, man. And I'm out. Y'all have a good one.